Hi everyone, my name is Jason Tremblay. I'm here with Arian and Jason. We're from the Strength Guys here in Sun City, South Africa at the IPF World Championships. Taylor has went home 2 to 3 days ago, so we're going to be recapping his meet together. This was Taylor Atwood's third World Championship, and he's looking in a good position to win Best Lifter at the end of the meet as well. Which actually was not an objective. It was not on our radar coming into this meet. Unfortunately, before Powerlifting American Nationals, Taylor sustained a groin injury. What's interesting, if you look at downhill skiing research on ACL tears, one of the most predictive factors of a future injury is an injury on the contralateral side, meaning skiers who injured their right knee are more likely to injure their left knee, and this is something that I've seen in powerlifting as well, which highlights the importance of really taking care of your injuries. And so, unfortunately, Taylor had a left groin injury. He had a right groin injury in 2019. About 2.5 years of pain-free training in between, where we were able to set some historical markers. But this made prep for Powerlifting American Nationals difficult. At Powerlifting American Nationals, he was able to get through that groin injury without flaring it up. And for the next 10 weeks, we were training without any issues. In training 4 weeks out, Taylor went to unrack 265 on his first work set and just felt a pop in his groin again. So a re-aggravation of the injury. And so our training was pretty badly affected for the final month of this meet. Taylor was able to take about 4 singles with, he did 260 on squat and 275, 290 on deadlift. But it was a suboptimal preparation for us heading here. And we had to plan for that in our strategy because we didn't know how Taylor's groin was going to respond to sitting on a plane for, over 30 hours of travel from New York City to here, and respond to load because we hadn't really been able to stress it too much in training. So we ended up opening in the middle of the flight on squat, which at a world championship is something that you wouldn't expect of Taylor. And we opened up at 245, and he gave me the thumbs up after the opener that his groin was good. So our plan all along was we were going to take big jumps and just keep testing the groin, see how it was feeling. So we went up 17.5 kilos to 262.5, hit that. Classic Taylor fashion, the competitor comes out and he's like, "Who's squatting the heaviest weight in the flight? Chip him." And I'm like, "Taylor, it's not smart for us to go up 25 kilos. So, but I don't think Dylan Nelson, the Great Britain lifter, who's attempting to beat Taylor's world record of 283, was going to be able to make it, because unfortunately he vomited on his second attempt, and obviously that's quite physiologically and psychologically stressful, so it's something that's going to be hard to come back from. So I went up 277.5. Individual medals were not our goal, but it's still nice to have them. So I thought 277.5, maybe more than everyone else in the flight was going to get. I had no concern whatsoever about Taylor missing this weight. I mean, it was only 2.5 kilos above his opener at Raw Nationals last year when he totaled 838.5. So it's a very safe third attempt. He went out there and hit it. Dylan missed, and it was an individual gold medal on squat. So moving into bench press, we knew from the morning session, because this year's World Championship has been broadcast on Eurosport. One of the interesting things about this is IPF has a time block for TV, and so they've been taking the top 8 nominated lifters in each weight class, and so everyone else has to lift in the morning session. And there's 2 really good bench pressers, one from Japan and one from Denmark, who had hit 195 and 197.5 in the morning session. So we knew, because Taylor had body weight over Maddie Christensen of Denmark, was sitting at 197.5, we were going to need that to get the individual gold on bench press. So opened up at 182, went to 192, and then finished at 197. It's good to get that gold medal, and 6 for 6 heading into deadlift. Moving into deadlift, we were at our top end subtotal from the strategy, not Taylor's strength. And so we wanted to try to fill up his world record without going over it. And maybe Arian can explain the rules of the Sheffield and why that's a good idea.
Sure. The Sheffield 2020 that was supposed to happen, they had a little bit of different rules as far as how to qualify and score, and then they changed it for this one coming up in 2023. And so like the way you qualify is based on the world record and getting within 5% of the world record as a minimum. And then the way that the Sheffield itself is going to be scored is once again based on the world record and how much above the world record you go compared to other lifters in other weight classes. So if you bump up your world record here at Worlds too much, then you're making it more difficult for yourself at Sheffield. If you hold it back, then you can say that for Sheffield and be able to put up a bigger percentage over the world record total. So that's for some of the athletes here where they can win the world championship without pushing it hard enough to break the world record. It's beneficial for them to just hold back a little bit.
And the criteria for qualifying for the Sheffield, the first criteria is you got to be world champion at 95% or above of the world record in the class. And Taylor's world record is 790.5. And so I bumped up his opener to 277.5 because we needed above 751 to qualify for the Sheffield. So just in case something freaky happened to his groin, I wanted to make sure that we had the Sheffield qualification locked up after openers. So we opened, that was 752.5 total. And then we went up 20 kilos to 297.5 for his second attempt, which moved really well. And we decided to 790 as our final total, because it may give us a shot at best lifter, depending on how the rest of the meet turned out. And it was 0.5 kilos under Taylor's world record. Taylor was really happy about this lift after the meet, because I think deadlift was a lift that he was questioning a bit, just couldn't train it very much, and 315 moved really well. So I think he still showed, he's like, yeah, I'm good, I'm gonna be okay, strength's still there, and it was a confidence building lift for us to end the world championship. So wrapping it up, Taylor Atwood went 9 for 9, hit a 790 total, 116.35 good lift points, which we have the 105s and the 120s and the 120 plus still to go. But it looks like it's going to be extremely competitive for Taylor's second Champion of Champions award, which is the best men's lifter at the World Championship. So thank you for listening.